So I'm going to get busy on doing this floor first. Not taking it completely to bare metal, but I want to kill the rust. Mainly just taking the rust off with a grinder and a light wire wheel. And I will probably hand paint it with a brush. So yeah. I'm going to get busy on that. Alright, maybe you guys can hear me over the fan. It was dusty. A lot of flaky stuff. That was terrible. A lot of dust. I had to take a shower tonight anyway, so make sure I'm taking a shower tonight. So might as well get it done and over with. Basically, I'm just hitting it enough to break the scale off, which now I gotta come back through here and vacuum it. Kind of tells me what needs to be done here. There's some JB weld. It's on there. There's some spots that just knocked off, and there's some that's not coming off at all. So it's gonna stay on there. Hit most of the light rust, mainly what I was doing. Somebody came and painted that side a little bit. I took off some of the loose paint, loose chipping, and then all that surface rust there. But other than that, it looks pretty solid. This side of the front is the worst. So I'm gonna vacuum this out. That way it's clean. And I'm going to use the Rust-Oleum Rust Converter paint. It's in a can. I'm just going to brush it on because it's going to get covered up by carpet and everything. Which I did power wash it and it did clean out a little bit. Probably give another power washing and then try to clean it. Maybe try to just paint it and see how that works. Because it's like a gray, white, and it's got like rust stains and yeah, I'm gonna see if I can paint it. I mean, if not, the carpet's got replaced anyways. But I'm gonna vacuum this stuff out and probably call it a night. At least get everything ready so that way tomorrow when I get off work, hopefully I can get off a little bit earlier and I can just go welding on everything. I do need to do one thing. I need to weld a key switch hole because somebody had hacked that one. So, unless there's a piece that's just missing there, I'm just going to weld a plate and try to put a key switch in it. I don't know whether that's going to work. I might have a couple of donor cars that might have a key switch spot in my dash, see how it's done. If not, I'll just make me a plate and make it. This is a key switch out of a B-body that I had a key for, so we'll try it. I think this is a 68, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm gonna vacuum this out. That way it's pretty much ready. Welding tomorrow. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to weld some of this. I'm probably just gonna cut it patches and I'll do more of my cleaning for that. Little flat disc, some of the small stuff. These bigger holes will probably get covered up with a patch, I mean, fixed up. The smaller ones will probably just get filled in. Same with this. I mean, it's pretty thick around it, so it should be okay. We'll say it will be the first time me doing this type of thin metal with this welder. So I'm gonna give it a try, see what it does. I've been using my 140, and I got this one, which is a 180, 220, or from a 110 to a 220. I like this one so far, especially on thicker stuff, which is all I've welded with it so far. So, yeah. I'm gonna vacuum this out and probably take a shower. Because I gotta get up even earlier tomorrow. So yeah, after this, vacuum it, take a shower, I'm going to bed. Call it a night. But I want to get it pretty much ready for weld. So I want tomorrow to be a welding day. And for some reason not a welding day, I'm painting. Never mind, I gotta fix the floor first. So yeah, welding day tomorrow. Alright. Alright, so I got it all vacuumed out. Hang on, let me move the light over here. That's not too bad. Little pinhole there. There. You know, that stuff can be fixed easy. That and that might need to be cut out. Not a big deal. Those are like pinholes that were covered up there with JB Weld. Little pinhole right there, about in the center of the screen. Other than that, the rest was pretty solid. Probably go over it with a wire brush one more time. And a couple of little areas before I paint it. And yeah. So tomorrow I'm planning on doing metal. I'll show you guys how I kind of do some of this stuff. There's no reason to really cut that out. I mean, no, that didn't work very well. I mean, give him a pinky, a little spot like that. The rest of it seems to be pretty solid. Nah, I might have a little bit of a problem, but it won't be too bad. Now, when you start getting stuff like that, it's not worth doing this little trick. Especially just going over it. This wouldn't be too bad, I think. I have done some stuff like that, but usually it ends up with that much pit around it. Usually burning through this a whole lot. We'll see how it works tomorrow. It looks like somebody put a different seat in this thing. Oh, I think that's the factory hole, and that's a homemade hole. Factory hole, homemade hole. Homemade hole? Homemade hole? Oh, wait a minute, hang on. Okay, now I'm actually a little bit confused. Does somebody have a bucket seat in this thing? Okay, just kind of a side note. Just kind of point it out. There's a hole there, a hole there, a hole up there, and a hole there. This looks like where the brackets would go for a bucket seat. And maybe that's where a bracket went. That might be what some of these are for. Usually in Mopar they'll do like these dimples like that. For like drill out spots. Which would make me think that's the holes for the seat. That they would drill out. I don't know a whole lot about the body stamping on these early A-bodies. Because I'm not sure, and I guess this is maybe just for the bench. I don't know. But there's holes that just don't quite work together. And I'm pretty sure these are the factory bench seat holes. Oh well. Probably explain why the seat was like so freaking close. Either way, I'm gonna get to that point when we get there. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. Alright, oh, let me get down here. So, what I'm gonna do here, now I'm gonna do it, and probably the proper way of doing it. Proper way is taking the door off, getting this form right, cutting this out, and just make a new fresh piece and bend this out. Do it off on the inside a little bit. Might cut a little piece here, probably be the proper way. I'm not going to do that. I think what I'm going to do, cut here where this rip is, Now I can open up the rip where it's not overlapping. Weld it together, or get it shaped where I need to, then weld it, spot it. And probably cut me a little square piece to follow this. And just match it. Actually, I might cut this out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out because it's all loose. Anyways. And I'll just build out upon that. I think that's the way I want to do it. Alright, I'm gonna get started on this. So I got the floors pretty much welded up. I welded these holes. Thanks for another seat. Clean this out, grind some of the high spots down. So now that I got all that, I'll vacuum it out and double check, make sure I got everything, clean up some of the tools. I don't want to figure out how I'm going to fix the key switch problem. I might have a little bit of an idea. But, yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do about this. Depending on when supper's done, I'll work on that until then. Other than that, turned out okay. Not high quality fixing. Basically, flat piece of steel, and kind of hammered it down a little bit for the dimples to kind of somewhat match-ish. I'm not gonna grind it down flush. It's actually pretty well flat. Most of the welds, I'll take a couple of little spots down. It's just to fix the holes in the floor and kind of make it nice. So, I'm not too worried about it. Didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. And, yeah. I'm going to get started on this key switch. This I'm going to take a little bit more of my time and kind of get it done decently good. So yeah, I'm gonna see what I can figure out on this and show you guys what I got when I figured it out. Like this. Alright, so I'm back on the Valiant. I got my girlfriend to help me. We're going to clean up the floor. Take a wire brush, clean it up a little bit more where the welds are to get all the slag and stuff off. Take the seat belts out, and we're going to brush a rust conversion paint on it. And hopefully get that done tonight. So yeah, we can get started on this and get it done tonight while it's a little bit cool. Alright, so we just finished, and looks really good to me. Went by pretty quick. Only gonna do one coat. I know it probably needs multiple, but there's a couple thin spots, but where it's thin is where the paint is. But I was more or less worried about the parts that weren't painted and protected. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a night and get back on it tomorrow. Probably start messing with the key switch. I gotta figure out still how I wanna do that. But yeah. Alright, so we're back on this today. Maybe you can hear me over the fan. I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding this down with some 120. Get it all scuffed up and everything pretty good. And start doing our vehicle. So yeah. So it's next day. It's hot today. Where I left off, car is pretty much all the way scuffed up, sanded at 120 grit. And if I used the longboard, it was 180. Longboard helped in some places, and then the DA sander helped in other. I got more sandpaper for the DA, so I tried to bias that. I did miss that part of the fender. Gotta go back and do that. I need to do a little bit more to the valance. And then I ran into a problem toward the end. I know silicone is not the proper way to do this, but it does work. my other car works so much better. This is overkill, but it's what I got. And the windshield part's doing okay. There's a couple little spots that are a little bit concerning, but I don't think it's gonna leak. The front one's pretty well right. I'm gonna do a little bit of cleaning, just kind of get it smoothed out. I think I got a couple of ideas on how to do that. But this piece here came off. Like, I went to blow it off and it didn't adhere worth crap. Some of this is adhering and bonding to the primer or the paint. And then there's some spots you can't even get it off. And there's some spots that will just peel off like nothing. So I'm gonna try and maybe do this one more time and kind of scuff it a little bit and figure out if that would do anything. And I'm gonna see if I can do anything to clean up this rear window a little bit. Kind of get cleaner and smoother. I do know the paint's not gonna stick very well to this. So, got a couple ideas on that. So I may try to mess with that today. And for sure finish sanding the car. My air sander does, it's not my air compressor leaking. The air sander has oil in it and it keeps spitting it out. It's either oil or water, but this looks like more oil to me. So I gotta go back and, ow. What did I do, just like carpet burn myself? That hurt. Go back and clean it off, get all that stuff off, do that. And then I'll start doing some body filler. I did not take all this off, I really don't want to. I do need to take a wire wheel and kind of clean it off. And I'm going to try to start maybe repairing some of that with body filler. And I missed a spot here too. A couple little spots I need to come back with. But yeah. But I'm gonna have to fix this before I get the primer on it. It's like right up here. And it's not really adhering that good. Oh well, I'll figure this out. If I have to take it all off, I'll do it and put seam sealer. If not, I'm gonna give this a go with what I got left. But it was all I could get at the moment, so that's why I tried to use it. I'll just have to wait until the stores get back in stock or order it online, which is kind of a bummer. Do need to check our paint supply. The only problem with that is they're closed whenever I need to go to them, so that makes it closer or harder to do. So yeah, and the rest of this seems to be pretty good. So I'm gonna get started on that, clean up a little bit around, that way I'm not tripping over my crap and tools and stuff. And yeah. Or maybe you hear me with the fan. I started hitting this a little bit because there was a spot here and it had rust. I'm gonna go ahead and take it down a little bit. But when I started doing that, the Bondo started peeling off while I was sanding. So like that's a flake that was coming off. You know, focus. That's a flake of the Bondo that would just flake off whenever I was just sanding it with the VA with 120 grit. So now I'm trying to get to good where it's not flaky anymore. This isn't flaky no more. I got here, which this was where it was popping. I'm probably gonna go a little bit here where it popped off. And there was a spot down here, and I started doing it, did the same thing. I think I'm starting to get to an odor and start changing color. You kind of see it right there. More of a white, and then you got more of a yellowish. I have not seen this start popping off yet. So I'll go ahead and clean that off. If it's bad enough, I'll rebondo it. If not, I'll just leave it. just gonna be a daily, so little dings and dents ain't gonna be too big. I will fix some of this stuff, just kind of help it, especially these scrapes that go down the side. But if it's like a real shallow ding and stuff, you probably won't mess with it much. Alright, well, I'm gonna get back to cleaning this up and start doing it again. So I'm going to go ahead and move the car outside. I'm going to go ahead and take all this Bondo off the side because I don't think it really needs that much. And then give me a better idea. I'm at least going to do one side for now. That way if I feel like going too far over it, then I'll just go back over the other side. But move it out because I don't want my shop completely Bondo dusted. So, yeah. Just going to move it 10 feet. Then I don't have to worry about it as bad of a deal. So, yeah. So I got everything pulled back in and put up. Getting dark. So I went ahead and primered that fender as y'all seen. I cleaned up the spots here and here to weld. I gotta pop these bundle plugs out. Oh, there's one. Can I pop the other one out real quick? Yes. Gotta weld these up because this car does not have marker lights and this is a later model fender. So I'm just gonna weld them up. I took off most of the Bondo on this door, or these doors. I guess they had pulled it up on a trailer and it had rubbed. So I popped the dents out. Probably didn't have to do as many here, but it did help. In my opinion, it worked out well either way. I'm gonna weld these holes up tomorrow, I'm thinking. And then once I weld up, grind them down to where they're flush and primer this to figure out how good I got it. I got the body line back here. It kind of goes out, follows through this door, and goes all the way to the fender. So that's good. And then there's another line that's opposite that's barely here, but you can see it right here. And then it kind of, it's hard to get it to fall back, but I got it. I can feel it with my finger. And then the car would make it fade away back here. And I got that back in the door. As you can tell, this is where it was marked. Or the scratches and everything. It was pulled in pretty good way. It had about a 1/4 inch of Bondo on it. Up to a 1/4. This size isn't as bad. I'm gonna have to pull this dent out here. And as you can tell, it's kind of like this side. It's just a scrape mark. This is not the body line. The body line's here. So I'm gonna pull that out and fix that. Don't have to, but I want to make it look so much better. Yeah, I'm gonna have to Bondo it and everything to get it smooth. But it's not gonna be perfect. But I do prefer it not to be full Bondo. It's kind of a little bit of a experiment and experimentation. Bondo on this fender was flaking off. I'm not sure why. I noticed there was a couple spots here where there was rusting, and I'm assuming that had something to do with it, and it finally just started coming off. Same thing down here. Right now this is bare metal. It doesn't look too bad at all. I think there's a little dent here I might try to pop out. But I'm gonna wait till I do this side. Rear window. Took these molding clips out that hold the window in, not the molding clips, but like the lock plastic stuff. It's broken. It didn't look right when I siliconed it. I'm probably gonna go ahead and weld these up if I can. Just go ahead and get it done. If I can do it without hurting the glass, I think I can. If I take it slow and careful. Took a wire well, kind of took the ridge off of this rubber. I'm thinking I'm going to try to silicone it again. If I can get it to look somewhat decent like the front window, I'd live with it. But it had a bunch of high spots from that lock and it being busted. I don't feel like trying to replace the seal or the lock. So I'm just going to silicone it. And I think this will be a lot better. I got to do a little bit more to this side. Clean it out, weld these couple spots up, and then do it. If it don't work, as long as it don't leak at that point, if it's somewhat halfway decent. Gotta figure out what I'm gonna do here. I know silicone was a bad idea for this. It did work, but I never did paint on it and talked to a guy today. Yeah, the paint will stick to it, but it won't stay on it for long. My problem is it didn't adhere to the body like the other car did. So I guess I'm going to pick up a tube of body sealer for this. Yeah, as you can tell, you can just pull it back on. So yeah, front windshield I'm pretty much happy with it staying in. Looks like there's a spot there, but I think that's just from the tape when I pulled it. But it did not leak whenever I sprayed water on it, so I'm happy with that. And I'm gonna have to tape it off and paint it black. Maybe I can get it to somewhat blend in. I'm gonna tape this off before I do it, paint it. That way the seal's black, and then put silicone over it. I gotta clean everything up. Try that, see what it does. If it don't work, it don't work. But as long as I get it sealed up, I'm happy. And if it looks halfway decent. So yeah, I did take the door panels out to get to it, which I was going to anyways, because I'm probably going to end up taking these off. I got new door locks, so that's going to make it easier to paint and less stuff to tape. So when I get ready to paint, I'll take them off. Same thing with the other side. And also, me welding on this door, just in case if it tries to catch on fire from the inside, because there was some leaves and stuff in here. I'm glad I did that, so that will be a good way to put out the fire if there is one. So I'm going to probably do the same over here. Just to look, clean out the doors, and do that. Which this one's already off, so that's no big deal. I'm going to take this back one off, might as well. Because there ain't nothing to it. And yeah, I'm hoping this weekend, if everything goes somewhat to plan, I'm hoping to paint it Saturday. Very early in the morning, probably. So I'm going to give that a try. I think with a little bit more practice, I can get this a lot more sticker. First try wasn't too bad using the tool. That helped a lot. Learning curve. I don't think this is going to pop out as long as there's silicone in here blocking it. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Alright, well, I'm going to call it a night and go get me something to eat and take me a nice hot shower. So I just got done spraying the marker light where I welded it up. Not perfect, but it's not too bad. It's hard to probably tell with it being shiny. Then this fender had a turn signal too, loaded that up. I guess the bolt they welded up previous or something. It's in there. My bundle will cover most of that. Our filler, primer, one of the two. And we got the driver door. You can see all the dents where it's been pulled and previous dented. And then where I've done it, a little bit of my patch, which the piece I put in was pitted, and I didn't realize that at the moment. But oh well. Not too bad. You can see we're scratched up, but you can see the body lines are still here pretty well. And you got the back door here. Still barely see that body line. It's kind of hard when that mark went right there. So whenever I do the filler, I'll have to try to find that out. And yeah, not too bad. I'm gonna have to dent these in just a little bit. But I wanted to see with the primer to see where I'm at. So yeah, I'm probably gonna call it a night. A little bit early, but I need to edit a video. And yeah. Probably tomorrow, start on this side. And yeah. Alright, so got the car backed outside. I'm gonna go ahead and start on this side. I'm gonna see what I can do to get this dent out from the inside with a ball peen hammer, because I have the panel already off on the inside. I'm gonna take this panel off and figure out what I can do here after I take all that off, at least from this line down. So once I do that, I don't think it'll be too bad. Not as bad as the other side. So yeah. Might also take some of this back a little bit down too, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So I got this side and a little bit of primer. I'm gonna let that dry, figure out what that's like, and I might go ahead and try to weld these up and start working on this back window a little bit better and see how much better I can do that. It is freaking hot, so I'm gonna put my fan back on. Alright, so I went ahead and kind of stripped some of the silicone out on the back window that was loose. Or at least a little bit loose. What was left. Went ahead and re-primered it, the bare metal, and went ahead and painted the seal too. Paint on the glass I can get off with some paint thinner. I'll clean the glass up. And yeah, it's hot out here. Let's see. Probably go ahead and let the paint cure and everything, and then I'll probably start on the front, doing a real good sanding. Kind of get some of these spots that might have a deep spot and get them sanded down. I don't think I'm gonna mess with mud today. I'll probably just clean up, call it a day too. That's probably what I'll do. It's hot. Alright. Get back on it tomorrow. Well, I didn't record the part of me doing a lot of sanding with this with an air sander. I got it pretty well smooth. I need to put some more, little high spot here, low spot here, and I still got to do some work here. I got a little high spot here, I believe. So probably end up taking this fender. No, not even. Yeah, I'll call it night and blow all this stuff out. I guess I should have known better. I should have had the car out, but oh well. Learned on that one. I did go ahead and silicone the back of the window. Hopefully that dust isn't going to mess with it. I'm going to try to blow it off and maybe see what happens. Alright, I'm calling it night. Alright, so I'm back on the Valiant. It's been a couple days. There was a day that I wasn't videoing on it, but I worked. I pulled it outside and just kind of doing things here and there. And got it pretty. I'm getting there. I'm getting close. A lot of sanding. Did learn not to do it in the garage from the last video, which some of it I didn't record. But a lot more filler than I kind of thought it was going to be. But I'm getting it pretty well formed out. I did run out of filler in the small can. Went by the body shop and just went ahead and grabbed a gallon. And I think that should definitely finish this up on the other side. Mudded over the seam, so I'm trying to keep it, maybe build this up a little bit, because this is all dented right here, and use my fender as my reference for that, if I can get it somewhat close. So I'm going to go ahead and probably lay some more filler down. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lay some more filler down. And let it dry. I do know when I was working on it that day, I realized 20 minutes waiting and then sanding, it kind of clogs up sandpaper more than waiting like an hour or so. That surface rust building up here. Wow. Might have to clean that up a little bit and then do it again. Yeah, it's getting there. Not perfect. So I think this is good to not get any more filler. Might put a little bit here. And definitely need some work down here. Especially here. I knew this was a low spot too. But I need to finish sanding that down. I noticed it needs some more filler back here. I need to ding this in a little bit too. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on that and lay some filler down, probably clean the other side and continue. Alright.